What is up, DTube Steam blockchain? So today I'm doing this video on the Galaxy. I hear a bird. So I'm doing this video on the Galaxy S20 Ultra. It should be 4K, 60 FPS. It looks pretty good, man. It looks pretty good. I'm also gonna put this video on YouTube, by the way. So first impressions on the Galaxy S20 Ultra. Wow. I mean, the camera is amazing. And not just like the rear camera, the front-facing camera as well. Even though I noticed that the front-facing camera has like issues inside if you don't have the proper light settings on your lamp. Well, I noticed that I think you should have like 5400K or something like that. And it's kind of weird how you can't set those ICO settings on the front-facing camera. But this is pretty standard when you get like into more pro cameras. And what else? Yeah, I mean, my it's very interesting because my Note 10 Plus and my Galaxy S10 Plus, if you're doing inside front-facing camera with just a regular lamp, the kind of color temperature on the videos is to be kind of perfect. While if you're doing the same thing with if you're doing like the same thing with, let's say, if you're doing the same thing with the S20 Ultra, what kind of happens is you get this like yellow effect. But maybe they're gonna fix that in the future. But when you're outside, it just looks better. Like the S20 Ultra, when you're outside, the front-facing camera, the rear camera, it doesn't matter if you do photos or videos, it just looks better, right? It looks way better. You can see that one clear thing is it takes in more light, way more light. It's because it has a bigger sensor. The photos looks amazing with the rear camera. So yeah, the first impressions is just amazing. Like, what amazing piece of technology this is. It feels very. I like the heaviness feel of it. Feels very exotic, extremely exotic, to be honest. I like the heavy weight to it. I like that the sensor sticks out. Like it actually looks cool, I have to say. One thing that kind of was what surprised me was I thought that the phone would feel super big in the hand because it's like a 6.9-inch display, right? But no, it feels very compact still, just because they mainly just made it a little bit longer in length and not expanded the width. I love how the screen has a 120 Hertz display option. That's just amazing. Yeah, it reduces the pixels a little bit, but I can't see it with my own eyes that clear. I love how the display is a little bit, it has a little bit of that curve, but not too much. And I like that. I like how they are not having too much of a curve. I did not really like the S6 Edge that much when it was super curvy. I did also not like the S7 kind of design. S6, wait a sec, S8 was better. S9 I never got. And I really do love the S10 Plus. That's why I'm using that one as a daily phone. 5000 milliamp battery. I don't really notice any problems with that. Like the battery is amazing, I think. The display is probably one of the best displays you can get. What else? One thing that I find a little bit annoying sometimes is like when you take a screenshot of something and go into the gallery, it usually like down samples or down sizes the photos to maybe save battery or something like that. So sometimes you have to zoom in on the text on a photo to like see it more clear, which is kind of weird, I think. And I mean, they've really done improvements. Like, it's pretty impressive because last year with S10 Plus and Note 10 Plus, they really took a step up when it came to the cameras. And again, this year, like this is not like a small year upgrade. This is a pretty big upgrade on the camera. Like the camera is way better than the S10 Plus and the Note 10 Plus. My Note 10 Plus and S10 Plus still feel super amazing, super fast, right? And at first, I didn't really notice that much of a difference with the cameras, but the more I started to play around with it, and the more I started to mainly use the S20 Ultra as the main phone, wow, I really started to notice it. Like when I went back to the other phones, they have like worse taking light, and these don't perform as good on the outside, and they can't, right? Because they used to have a worse sensor, you know. In terms of software and all that, it is very, very identical. Uh, yeah, it's super, super identical. That hasn't really changed, and I wouldn't really expect it either. And I'm also using the Galaxy Buds Plus. I think it's like no, not 5G. I mean Bluetooth 5 or something like that. It works amazing. Like it really, really works good. And those AKG kind of in ear, they are actually feeling a little bit better in the ear than those like wired phones that you sort of get. It still would be nice with a headphone jack because sometimes you may not want to go with those wireless small ones. Sometimes you may want to have a larger kind of headset, you know, because that can be very, very nice. So I really wish, especially on this big phone, that they did include the. It would really be nice if they would have included a an earphone jack 3.5 millimeter, but maybe then the battery would have to be a little bit smaller. It would also be nice with the S20 Ultra if it had support for S Pen, especially for people that already have the Note 10, the Note 10 Plus, and already have that pen. Like if you try to use it on the S20 Ultra, it's not really gonna work. It would be cool if it worked. It would be cool if it was like a separate add-on, so you can like bring a pen, and maybe it could be included in the casing of the Galaxy Buds Plus. What surprised me about the Buds Plus was how amazing the sound was. Like it was really, really clear, like super clear, and the battery life seems to be extremely long, also like 10 hours. I think they went from 6 hours on the last one to like 10 hours now. And even the battery case is like charging. One thing I don't like so much with these new phones is when they're the cable it comes with to charge, it's usually very stiff, and this USB-C cable, and it doesn't feel that long. I wish they made it a little bit longer and just use some other material so it's not as stiff. One thing that was weird with the Galaxy Buds Plus was the cable it came with was like it plugged in with USB-C on one side, and then it wanted like a full USB on the other side. It did not really make that much sense because it didn't come